invite my colleague, Mr. Rahul, to formally introduce our resource person for today, Dr. Suresh Ponnurangam, sir. Rahul?
Yes, ma'am, I'm over here. Yes. So, good evening, everyone. So, on behalf of Alpha Universal Research Academy and SN College, I take immense pleasure in welcoming each and everyone to this wonderful day. And when I was about to talk about the speaker, I could see a lot of credentials about our speaker, Dr. P. Suresh. So, with sir's permission, I would like to consolidate it and probably deliver to you. So, Dr. P. Suresh is an assistant professor at the Department of English, Dwaraka Das, Govardhan Das, Vaishnav College, Arumbakkam, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He has been teaching English for over 15 years at the undergraduate and postgraduate level. He has produced 8 PhD scholars, 22 MPhil scholars. He has published over 35 scopes, index journals, and 30 more in UGC listed journals. He has been a resource person for over 10 webinars during the COVID-19 lockdown period. So I'm very sure that when the entire world was inactive, Sav was very active with all his webinars. So he has conducted the pronunciation workshops for various school teachers and college professors. He has published 10 books on English pronunciation. He is an international certified trainer for TEFL Canada since 2019. He has trained and produced over 40 TEFL certified trainers. During this lockdown period, he has started a YouTube channel named English with Dr. Suresh. And he has been a most famous YouTuber with posted over 80 videos on English language and pronunciation. So we are very happy to have you in this forum, sir. Thank you, sir. And the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Respected leaders, professors, research scholars, and other participants, very good evening. At the very outset, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to be a part in this program. Now, the topic that I'm going to talk about would be, I hope everybody would have already had a glimpse about this topic, pronunciation skills for professional communication. As our HOD, I think our HOD in his address, he mentioned about the pronunciation skills. One of the most important skills when it comes to communication. Now, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a light on how this skill is practiced and what are the methods we can adapt in order to develop this particular skill. Besides, before I begin with that, I would like to throw a little light on the status about the research scholars on pronunciation skills. So I actually did my PhD. I started my PhD in 2010. I finished in 2015. Now, when I was doing my PhD on English pronunciation, majority of us, literally, majority of the people around me, they never encouraged me to go on with this topic. They always discouraged me, I would have to say that, because they thought that this wouldn't work out and this could not be a research area for people like us, and I would not be able to justify that as well. That's what majority of the people around me told. But fortunately, my guide, I would like to make mention about her, Dr. Kanagamani Balasubramanian. She was a professor, retired professor from SDNB Vaishnav College. And after retirement, she was working as a head in Amit University. It's one of the deemed universities in Chennai. So she was the one who actually gave me the light. She told me that go ahead with this topic or area, and she said that she would be behind me. So that gave me the boost, and I went on and then I researched, learned a lot of things on the way, and finally I got my PhD. My PhD was like this: when everybody uses the same words, same sentences, same grammar, everything the same. Only when we speak, we don't understand each other. Why? That was the question. And most of us would say that it's because of the mother tongue influence. We could not speak like the English people. Even some of you may agree, some of you may not agree. But I differed from there. Whatever the research so far done ended up with the majority of them ended up their research with this thought that it is because of the mother tongue. I differed, and then I went on. I took a different route, and then I was able to do a research on this, and I was able to finally put me in front of everybody in the Viva Voce examination as an example as to whether it could be possible or not. So probably because of the way how I speak, it was actually recognized and it was awarded. But from then onwards, I've never seen anybody doing a research on pronunciation at all. I don't even see, maybe there are many, maybe I have not come across any, but to my knowledge, I don't see anybody. Majority of the research scholars, they always go after literature. Yeah, of course, that's a wonderful area, but they, I would like to just ask a small question. It's not to offend anybody. Like we do research in literature, of course, we are all scholars, but what is the benefit? The basic, the layman gets out of that. What does the society get out of your research? Now, please, it's just a friendly question. It's not about offending anybody, finding fault with anybody. So you do a research. Now, whatever we do, it should be of some use to the society. But whatever, if we do literature, research in literature, I'm sure that it's going to help only the other professors, teachers, research scholars. That's it. But what about the common people? In what way it is of some help? I don't see any help for the society at all. So what I feel is that whatever the research we do, it should be of some help to the society. So if you think that way, I would rather suggest the upcoming scholars to think about doing research in ELT. Probably you can think of pronunciation, because it's one of the untouched area from our locality, I would say. When it comes to literature, I'm sure that everybody knows. You would have explored it. Everybody would have touched the grounds. Everything has been explored, multifolded. But this is one of the areas where you can start working on. So that is just a bit of my I always wonder about these things. And then I always want to ask such questions with the research scholars and teachers as well. Fine. So let me just go ahead and share my screen first. So just hang on. Okay, so I hope it is visible. My screen is visible.
Just a minute, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about how we actually speak English. English, like everybody would have heard this particular terminology. It's a funny language. or the phrase, it's a funny language. Of course, it is a funny language because most of the time we don't see any logic at all. But even then, we have to go with this language. Now, there are basically, there are so many silent letters in this word in English language. So if you ask me, through my research, I found out that approximately about 40% of the English words have got silent letters. But we only know of them just about, I would say, 10%. That's a maximum. We will know those silent letters. But there are other silent letters which we have no idea about. We start pronouncing all those silent letters. That's one area where we need to focus on too. Not only that, and where we have to use a short sound, we replace it with a long sound, vice versa. Sometimes, let me just give a little example as well. For example, the word food. We usually say this word as food with a short sound. Kurilla தான் நம்ம இந்த வார்த்தையை சொல்றோம், but it's supposed to be with a long sound. It should be food. But look at this word. This is another word, foot. And I'm sure majority of us would say that as foot. Probably we would have practiced foot. But the right way to pronounce this word is with a short sound, foot. And there is even another area where there's a word called, how do we actually pronounce this word? Anybody would like to volunteer? How do we pronounce this word? Anybody, any volunteer would like to come forward?
Any volunteers? You can unmute and you can say.
Tuition, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody else would like to try? Is there any other variation?
Tuition.
Tuition. Tuition.
Yeah, everybody say as tuition. Look at that. That means we are missing this sound. We say shun. But this particular sound also be included. It should be like this. Tu, e, shun. Look at how it should be. Tu, e, shun. Tuition. Tuition. Say tuition. Say that it should be I. Tuition. So there are so many words that we so many words. Those words. Area. Film.
Your voice is breaking, sir.
Is it for all of
So, your voice is breaking. Yes.
We're going to go with another way, probably because of the headphone. Just give me a second, please.
So I think you're on mute.
Okay. I'm sorry. I think I'm fine now, I believe.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So this word, some of us may tend to pronounce this word as film. That means we add an extra sound, which is actually not there, but then we add an extra sound with that film. Not all of us, some of us. Even I've heard and so many of these film actors, when they give interviews, they would say, in the film, like that, they would say, film, look at that, film. The spelling is actually film, and the pronunciation is film. But they would say film. Since everybody, most of us are passionate about movies, when we just watch any movie, we pick up things automatically. So, oh, அவரே அப்படி சொல்லிட்டாரு, அப்படிதான் நம்ம சொல்லணும். நம்ம தலையே அப்படி சொல்லிட்டாரு, அப்படிதான் சொல்லணும் அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு automatically we learn from them. We just follow it blindly just because they say so. So these are the categories that we have, and some of the areas what we do, we give the stress at the wrong syllable. Look at this word. How do we actually pronounce this word? Anybody, any volunteer, please?
Content.
Okay, what is the meaning? Of course, the pronunciation, you said content, that is correct, but what is the meaning? What is your understanding about the word with that pronunciation?
Content. Maybe a content of anything, the crux.
Okay, great. Is there any other variation we have apart from
I
this?
feel content.
Okay, you only say that it's satisfaction.
Yeah, the feel of satisfaction. I was searching for that word. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Look at this. There's only one spelling, and this word can be split into 2 syllables. If we give the stress for the first syllable, that means it's a noun or sometimes an adjective. For example, if you say content, look at that. Content, meaning stuff, matter, material, or the most important thing, or something that is inside, or would cover, whatever we say. That is the meaning. Look at another version. And we stress the second part, the second syllable, and that will be a verb. Look at that. Content. We have 2 versions, the same spelling. This is content, this is content. If you say content, it's either a noun or an adjective. The meaning should be stuff, matter, material, or the most important thing, or something inside, etc. And when you say content, it means happy, satisfaction, okay, comfortable, fine, great, good, something like that. But how many of us actually pronounce this word content to mean satisfaction? And how many of us pronounce this word as content to mean the noun meaning? I'm sure rare. Yes. So this is another area, but it's not just one word. There are so many words with that. Look at that. Let me just tell you some of the words with the same line. Look at the word. 2 syllables. Defect, defect. Look at that. If you say defect, if you stress the first part, the first syllable, it's a noun. Meaning, like fault, mistake, or error. But if we stress the second part, it's a verb. Sorry. Look at that. It means defect. Look at the meaning. This means fault. And this means moving from one point to another. For example, I'm going to defect this building, meaning I'm going to go from this building, I'm going to go somewhere else. That's the meaning. I'm going to defect from Crumpet to Ananagar, something like that. I'm going to change my living place. So that is defect and defect. And there are some of the words like, look at that. How do we pronounce this word? I'm sure everybody is familiar with this word. Anybody? I think if it is interactive and it'll be more interesting. It's okay. Anybody can say anything, even if it is wrong. That's okay. But let's just
Democratic.
Democratics. That means we give the stress here. Democratic. Okay. Is there any other variation? Anybody else has got? Democratic. The same, but is there any other variation? We say democratic, that means we give the stress for this syllable. But is there anybody who says that we can, we
Democratic.
not exactly, you're still the same, man.
Democratic, sir.
But still the same, you're giving the stress with the same syllable.
Could it
Now, what
be
we do,
Democratic.
exactly, almost. It should be democratic. We have the stress here, democratic. India is a democratic country. Look at the differentiation between the pronunciations. Democratic, democratic. There are no other variations. There's only one pronunciation for this word, which should be or is democratic. Sorry, I got a little confused. Democratic. So democratic, look at it, sounds like some of the word. It sounds like some of the word. Democratic, democratic. And there is another word we usually say. How do we pronounce this? Anybody would like to try this?
Vehicle. Vehicle.
Vehicle, okay. Anybody else?
vehicle?
Vehicle, okay. Vehicle. Any other variation? Almost, you got it, ma'am. It should be like this. Vehicle. The H is silent. Yeah, vehicle. That's how we have to pronounce. The H is silent. The red highlighted letters are silent. Vehicle, like that. It's almost this way. Vehicle. Sometimes we say vehicle, like this. We remove the H, we say vehicle. Sometimes we say vehicle. Sometimes we say vehicle, or something like that. There are so many variations we have. But this is a vehicle. It should be vehicle. So these are the areas where we need to improvise. So let me just go with the PPT. I'm just starting the PPT now. I would like to ask a question here. What level of speaking competency is expected from an interviewee when they attend an interview? Because we are all the teachers, we all, our main objective is all the students must get placed, and that's the objective, that's the ultimate goal of every teacher, I believe. That's why I put this question here, since we're all working for the students. So I hope it is everybody, we are familiar with this question. Yes, tell me, what level of speaking competency is expected from an interviewee when they attend an interview? Whatever the job it is. But professional jobs, not just low-level jobs. Professional jobs I'm talking about. Anybody, please?
Professional.
Professional, okay. Is there anybody with a different perspective?
Good.
Okay, good, fine. Anybody else?
Yeah, I go with excellent.
Excellent. Okay, fine. But when they go out of the college with an undergraduate degree, what exactly do you think, or so far, based on your observation, what exactly do you think students possess the competency level? Which one they have it?
Average.
Average. Okay. Anybody else?
It should be good.
It should be good. Okay. Yes, I agree with both of you, but I would say that good. Maybe 20 years back, if you just simply speak good English, that was enough, but not today. You know why? Because it's highly competitive. Like almost, I would say that approximately about 50,000 graduates are coming out every year from Tamil Nadu alone, approximately, with a degree, and they go search jobs. So I feel that today, if you just simply speak good English, probably you will get jobs, but least opportunity, not the best opportunities in best companies. Okay, But if students are not able to speak professional English, let's say that they expect professional level, okay? But if they're not able to speak professional English, where do they lag? Where do they lag? Which area they lag when it comes to these communication skills? Only the speaking skills I'm talking about, not about writing or like reading, listening. It's about speaking skills. I'm sure most of us would say vocabulary, grammar, fluency, pronunciation. Yes?
Confidence level is lagging, sir.
Okay, great. So we can also add the word confidence level.
They're
Okay.
more hesitant. They're more hesitant.
Okay,
Lack
so
of
those
motivation.
Are all, yes. Those are all soft skills. The ones that we are mentioning here, those are all soft skills. Of course, by default, we lack the soft skills, and we are focusing on that as well. But when it comes to this language, most of us would say vocabulary, grammar, fluency, and pronunciation. These are the major area they would say, sir, I lag in this. They would say that, sir, I learn about 10 words a day. Or for example, they get excited and they go refer a dictionary, learn 10 words, and then they're very happy that they learn 10 words. Students, I'm talking about. That's what most of us tell me. They after a couple of days, they would just all of a sudden they would just remind themselves, and then they would say they would start thinking how many words they remember out of the 10 words. After 2 days, they would surely forget 2 to 3 words. They would approximately remember 7 words. Out of the 7 words, they only know the exact meaning of those words, only 5 words. The remaining 3 words, they would get confused. Whether this meaning, that word, or that word is this meaning, like that kind of confusion. If they don't do anything, after 1 week, they would almost forget 5 words. They would only remember 5. Out of the 5, they would still get confusion between which word, which meaning. That is because they don't practice it. Sometimes they get excited and then they go learn a word and then they start learning. And they just start moving on and then they forget it without using it. So the major reason is they don't use it. That we already know. Okay? But I would say that whatever the words that we have as of now, they are more than enough. We don't need to learn any new word at all. Because there is something called, we know that every nouns can be used as a verb. We don't need any verb at all as a beginner, not for an advanced speaker. For beginners, they may say that I don't remember words, I forget it. Okay, that's fine. Sure, I'm not good in remembering words. That's okay. I don't know verbs. That's okay. Still, you know the nouns, right? With the nouns, we can just use the word like 2 and 1. We can use all the vocabulary words. Let me just give you an example. If you try to teach the students this way, I'm sure that you can reduce the number of words. And you know that the best English is not the big words in a long sentence. It's the small words in a simple sentence. That's the best English. Everybody know that. In that sense, look at that. If I say a sentence like this, உங்க பேரை பேனாவால எழுதுங்க. Usually நம்ம எதை சொல்லுவோம்? How do we say it in English? Let me also write it down here. Majority of us say, write your name using a pen. There are actually 6 words in this sentence, but we can just use only 3 words and give the same meaning. Anybody would like to try that? We can only use 3 words, give the same
Pen
meaning.
your name.
Now, write is a verb. We don't
Pen
need
your
a
name.
verb. Exactly.
Pen
your name. Simple. Pen your name. It's exactly the same meaning. I hope everybody will agree with me. If there is any, you may kindly just you may give your opinion about this. It's exactly the same meaning, but we have reduced the number of words. We don't need to bother about like some other words, like verbs at all. We don't need a verb at all. Look at that. On the bottle left, I know which stronger. How do you say? Collect water in the bottle. How do we say this? There are actually 5 words. We can just say it in 3 words. Anybody would like to try that? 3 words. We don't need any preposition. Preposition is always a confusion for most of us.
Fetch the water.
Fetch is a verb. We don't need a verb. We don't need any preposition.
Collect water bottle.
Collect is a
Water
collect
the
is a
bottle.
verb. We don't exactly.
What?
Water.
Bring the water.
Yes.
Water the bottle.
Water the bottle. Yes. Water the bottle. Simple. Or bottle of water. Either way, you can say both would mean same meaning, I believe. Okay. Look at that. In the number, unga phone la save பண்ணுங்க. Save this number in your phone. How do you say in 3 minutes? 3 words. There are actually 6 words. How can we say this in 3 words? No verb needed. No preposition needed. No extra word. Only the word within this sentence. Anybody would like to try that? Somebody's telling you, in the number on your phone save பண்ணுங்கப்பா அப்படினு சொல்றாங்க. But usually நம்ம இப்படி தான் சொல்லுவோம். Maybe there are other variations, but with the more number of words. But how can we say that in 3 words with the same meaning?
Save this number.
Save is a verb. We don't need a verb. Without the verb. Without the verb. Simple. Phone this number. There are 2 meanings here. Phone this number.
Then it means like you call this number.
Exactly. Yes, there are 2 meanings, but the meaning varies depending upon the context. One meaning enna abinaka இது யார் நம்பர்னே தெரியலப்பா. Phone this number. இந்த நம்பரை கால் பண்ணுங்க யாரும் கண்டுபிடிப்போம். Or a meaning. If we say phone this number, there is another number, another meaning. Phone this number. இந்த நம்பர் எனக்கு எப்படி பென் என்கிட்ட எதுவும் இல்லை, அப்பா சொல்றாரு, நம்ம கிட்ட சொல்றாரு, இந்த நம்பரை போன்ல சேவ் பண்ணுங்கப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு. Context. Look at the context. Phone this number. Put this number in the phone. That's the meaning. Phone this number. Okay. Like this, there are so many. Like all the nouns can be used as a verb. For example, ஒரு ரூம்ல வந்து ஃபேனே கிடையாது, ஃபேன் சுத்தமா கிடையாது. அப்ப இந்த ரூம்ல ஃபேன் போடுங்கன்னா எப்படி? ஃபேன் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Fix fans in this room. Look at that. How many words? Fix fans in this room. How can you say that in 3 words? Fan this room. No extra words. The same words. No extra words. No new words are to be introduced here. From here itself. Fan this room. Fan this room. There are 2 meanings. One, ஃபேனே போடாம உட்காந்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம், ஏன்ப்பா வேர்த்து விளையாளத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கீங்க, ஃபேனை போடுங்கப்பா. ஃபேன் திஸ் ரூம். ஃபேன் போட்டு கத்தோட்டமா இருங்க. ஒரு மீனிங். இன்னொரு மீனிங், ஃபேனே சுத்தமா இல்ல, ஃபேன் திஸ் ரூம். ஃபிக்ஸ் ஃபேன்ஸ் இன் திஸ் ரூம். That's the meaning. I hope if you think twice, you will understand deeply. So likewise, everything. For example, நம்ம ஒரு தியேட்டருக்கு போறோம்னு வச்சுங்களேன், நம்ம எங்க பைக்ல போறோம், பைக் நாம எங்க விடுறோம்னு நினைக்கிறோமோ நம்மள விட மாட்டாங்க. அந்த வாட்ச்மேன்ஸ்ல கூப்பிடுவாங்க, சார் இங்க விடாதீங்க, இங்க வந்து பார்க் பண்ணுங்க. Like that they would say, sir, don't park there, park here. Park is a verb. We don't need a verb. 2 words. How can you say this? Park your bike here. அப்படிதான் எல்லாரும் சொல்லுவாங்க. பட் இத 2 வார்த்தையில எப்படி சொல்லுவோம்? Bike here. So, bike here. Bike here. Park is a verb. We don't need a verb. Basic beginners I'm talking about. I'm சொல்றேன், எனக்கு verb எல்லாம் தெரியல சார், நான் மறந்து போயிடுறேன் சார், எந்த verb போடுறதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல சார். But எனக்கு noun everybody is very much familiar with. Whatever you see is a noun. எதெல்லாம் நீங்க பாக்குறீங்களோ அதுக்கெல்லாம் பேர் இருக்கு, அதெல்லாம் nouns. Noun ஈஸியா நம்ம ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கலாம். So அதை வச்சு they can start. So இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம சொல்லிக்கிறேன். மேபி நீங்க சொல்லலாம், இதை நீங்க வந்து இதெல்லாம் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிட்டு சொல்றீங்க, நான் சொல்ற நவுன் நீங்க எப்படி யூஸ் பண்ணுங்க பாப்போம், நீங்க ஏதாவது சொல்லுங்க பாப்போம். ஒரு கஷ்டமான ஒரு நவுன் சொல்லுங்க பாப்போம். Try that. There is no nouns which we cannot use like this. எல்லாத்தையுமே யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். Every noun. Anybody would like to give a word? We say, read this book using your eyes. Maybe it's a little complicated. Two more example. But how can you say this? Easy. Eye this
Read
book.
on your eyes.
No. Eye this book. So
Eye
remember,
this-
read is the verb. Read is the verb. We don't need the verb. The objective is not to use the noun. In the particular concept இருக்கிற அந்த வார்த்தைகள்ல I this book meaning ஒன்னு இந்த புக்க பாருன்னு ஒரு மீனிங் இன்னொரு மீனிங் என்னன்னா இந்த புக்க படிங்கன்னு ஒரு மீனிங் so likewise எல்லா நவுனையுமே நம்ம verba யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் but it cannot cover all of the basic communication context or it will cover about 30%. But the remaining, of course, that is advanced level. But for beginners, and one way tell us, the concept once you understand it, that's it. Everything is fine. Okay, நாம வந்து actually ரொம்ப ஸ்லோவா போயிட்டு இருக்கோம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நான் என்னோட ஏரியாக்கு வரல. So let me just go a little more quickly. If you have questions, please hold it. We'll discuss about it in the end. Fine. இப்ப இங்கிலீஷ்ல யோசிச்சு பாருங்களேன் நான் தமிழ்ல எப்படி பேசுற மாதிரி பேசுறேன் நன் ஈங்கு ஆரை மானி நிறமாக ஆங்கிலத்தில் ஊரையாடி கோண்டு இருக்கிறேன் இப்படி நான் தமிழ் பேசிட்டு நான் நல்லா தமிழ் பேசுறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முடியுமா குரல் நெடல் மாத்தி சொல்லியிருக்கேன் அவ்வளவுதான் வேற ஒண்ணும் கிடையாது குரல் நெடில் வேற ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ஸிங் வந்து மாத்தி மாத்தி சொல்லி அப்படி சொல்லியிருக்கேன் இந்த மாதிரி நான் தமிழ் பேசிட்டு நான் நல்லா பேசுறேன்னு சொல்ல முடியுமா anybody you can tell your opinion நான் இந்த மாதிரி I hope you understood what I just said தமிழ்ல பேசினானே குரல் நெடில் மாத்தி மாத்தி பேசினானே அந்த மாதிரி தமிழ் பேசிட்டு நான் நல்லா பேசுறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முடியுமா
No, sir.
கண்டிப்பா சொல்ல முடியாது அப்ப நல்லா அப்படின்னாவே 50% தான் நம்ம நல்லாவே அப்ப ஒரு சார் சொன்னாங்க ஆவரேஜ் கூட நம்ம அதை சொல்ல முடியாது புவர்னு தான் சொல்ல முடியும் நம்ம இப்படிதான் இங்கிலீஷ் பேசுறோம் நம்ம மெஜாரிட்டி ஆஃப் அஸ் இப்படிதான் இங்கிலீஷ் பேசுறோம் ஆக்சுவலா அதனாலதான் வெள்ளக்காரன் அவன் பேசுறது நமக்கு புரியல நம்ம பேசுறது அவனுக்கு புரியல இதுதான் மேஜர் ரீசன் ஏன்னா நம்ம மாத்தி மாத்தி குரல் நெடில் மாத்தி மாத்தி பேசுறோம் we have words we will look on to that as well okay great let's go yeah we now look at the one letter ஒரே ஒரு letter just the letter A alone gives 6 different sounds இப்ப ஒரு வெள்ளக்காரன் ஒரு இங்கிலீஷ் ஒரு பர்சன் இருக்காரு அவர்கிட்ட சரவணன் அப்படின்ற ஒரு பெயர் அவர்கிட்ட கொடுத்தனாக்கா அவர் எத்தனை விதமா வச்சு வந்து சரவணன்ன்றது அவர் என்னைக்குமே கேள்விப்பட்டது இல்லை அந்த வார்த்தை இப்படிதான் வச்சிருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவருக்கு 6 டிஃபரெண்ட் இருக்கு பாருங்க 4 ஏஸ் இருக்கு அந்த வார்த்தையில 24 combination
Sarvan.
Am I breaking?
Your voice is breaking, sir.
Is it fine now? Is it only for you, for all of us?
Now it's okay, sir.
Now it's fine, sir. Now.
Okay, yes. The letter A alone gives 6 different sounds in English language. அப்ப சரவணன் ஒரு பேரை வந்து ஒரு இங்கிலீஷ் மேன்ட்டு கொடுத்தாக்கா முதல்ல அவருக்கு எப்படி இந்த வார்த்தை உச்சரிக்குன்னு தெரியாதுன்னு வச்சுப்போம் அப்ப அவர் எத்தனை விதமா உச்சரிப்பாரு அப்படின்னாக்கா 24 variations on the பேருக்கு வச்சிருப்பாரு Sara, look at that. The first one is a, second one is a, third one is a, next one is a, long sound. The other one is a. The next one is a, like a as in Eli, like that. And the mari mati potu 24 variation minimum, 24 variations of pronunciation he would have for that particular names because he doesn't know exactly how to pronounce the name because he has never heard about that name. So that's how we actually go with majority of the words. Look at the word, the sound O as well. It has got 3 different ways to pronounce it. Sometimes it is O. Sometimes it is O long, sometimes it is O. Look at that. Here, we only have problems with the third one. Look at that. Gate. It should be two different sounds. Let me just give you some examples. Two different sounds. Gate. We usually say G, G, இப்படிதான் நம்ம சொல்றோம் actually. Gate, not like get, like gate, gate. But actually, there is another sound that we are missing. Look at that. This I. It should be gate. Gate. It is not just like guys. Look at that. G8. Gate. This is how. Oh, sorry. This is how we have to pronounce it. Gate. But we only say gate without the I. Gate, rate, mate. Some of the other example. Look at that. Gate, rate, paper. It should be paper, not paper. Paper we say date. It should be date, fate, mate, rate.
Table.
There are so many words. Yes, table, table. So that's the one area. If we focus on two, we'll be able to get it right. The rest all we are fine. The rest all we are fine. Similarly, there's another for the O one. The third one, the first and the second, we are already fine. Almost. The third one, we have a problem. Look at that. It should be, we simply say go, wo, G, O, go, S, O. So there is another sound in the middle which we're missing. That is called the diphthong. It should be go, go, O, or if, G, or if, go, no, so, phone, home, road, hotel, photo, road, motor. So likewise, we have to focus on that word as well. And when it comes to this word, any word that ends with the letter E, it is always silent. We already know that. That's why we don't say home, phone like that. But there are some exceptions. Look at the exceptions. These are the very common exceptions. Extempore. We say extempore speech. We just understand that, oh, since this word ends with the E, it is silent. No, not like that. It should be extempore. We have to pronounce E as well. Similarly, the next word, adobe. It's not adobe. It is never adobe. It is never adobe. It's always adobe. The next exception is hyperbole. Hyperbole. That's what we actually say. It should be hyperbole. Hyperbole. The rest all we are fine. These three words you can remember: extempore, adobe, hyperbole. And look at this letter. If we always pronounce this letter R, like father, mother, brother, sister, but actually in the English language, the letter is not all the time it is pronounced. Sometimes it is pronounced, sometimes it is silent. Look at the basic reason. So if the letter R is followed by a consonant, the letter R is completely silent. Look at the examples that I've given. Word, sword. But here in the second word, the W is also silent, but I have not highlighted that since I'm talking about the letter R alone. World, marker. In this word, any word ends with the letter R, it is also silent. So marker, look at it, should be marker because both the letter R's are silent. Basic reason is, basic rule is, if the letter R is followed by a consonant, it is always silent. If an individual word ends with the letter R, it is always silent. So we always sometimes say sar, sar, sar. It should be without the letter R, the same way how we pronounce it, but don't sound the letter R. It should be sir, sir, teacher, mother, father, brother, commander, paper. So we silent, we have to silence it. Look at the pronounced R. If you find the letter R right before a vowel, it's not vowels, it should be vowels. Vowels. That is another word that we need to focus on with that as well. Look at that. We say ba, if, vowels, vowels. probably like this. Vowels. Just you have to remove the middle sound. If you have to remove Tamil and so vowels, or maybe like this. Vowels with a Z sound. Oh, sorry. Vowels. Vowels. That's how we have to pronounce this word. Not vowels. 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 Okay, here. Here, the second example, before vowels, the letter R is pronounced. So you have to say brother, bright, Christmas. Not like brother, bright, Christmas, great. It is because the blade, the tip of the tongue, it should not touch anywhere inside the mouth at all. It should not touch the roof of the mouth at all. But if you touch the blade with the roof, then it will start giving you the sound, like the sound. So the tip should not touch anywhere. It goes close, but it not touches anywhere. Like this, brother. Or in other words, you have to give one beat. Look at that, beating. More than one beat we give. We have to restrict it to one beat. Look at that. Brother. I only give one beat for the letter R sound because it is a pronounced R, because it is followed by a vowel. Look at that. Brother, bright, Christmas, great. Brother, bright, Christmas, great. So any word ends with the letter R, it is always silent. Do, dear, not dear, dear sir, no. Do, simply do, flow, because the letter R is silent. Greater, teacher, master, commander, because any word ends with the letter R, it is always silent. But look at the sentence. There are some exceptions. If you put the same word in a sentence, look at the word water. When you say the word individually, it is water. The R is silent. If you put the same word in a sentence, the letter R should be pronounced because the letter R is followed by a vowel, is. So you have to say, water is required. He is a teacher of English language. He's a teacher of English language. We have to pronounce the letter R. The simple concept. Next to the letter R, if you found vowels, you have to pronounce it. When you pronounce, if it is a pronounced R, you have to just start pronouncing and giving one beat. Not more than one beat, like it should be that's it. I hope you understood. So we're going a little more faster. The word THE is pronounced in two ways. Sometimes it is the, sometimes it is the. Same rule. Before vowels, it is the. Before consonant, it is the. If somebody writes the word on the board, THE, somebody's asking, the teacher is asking, how do you pronounce this word? Then you'll have to ask another question. Sir, tell me what is the next word so that I can tell whether it is a the or the, because the pronunciation of the word the or the THE is completely 100% dependent upon the beginning of the next word. If the beginning of the next word is going to be a vowel, you say the. For example, the echo, the abacus, not abacus, it should be abacus. The ogre, not ogre, ogre. The apple, the orange, the elephant. But look at the other areas. If the next word is going to begin with a consonant, then you say the car, the pen, the box, the floor, the building, like that. But there is an exception. If you're going to highlight a particular point, then irrespective of these rules, vowels and consonant, we always go with the. For example, he's one of the best students in the classroom. He's one of the best students in the classroom, like that. Look at the word ending with AGE or an EGE. What we do at the end, we give a long sound, like college, village, mileage, breakage, wreckage, like that. Age, A as an A-N-E. That is the long sound we give. But it should be a short sound. Because nedila nama solron, and therefore nama kurla solano. So A as an A, like that, like this. College, village, mileage, breakage, wreckage, not wreckage, not manage, it should be manage, not luggage, it should be luggage, not E, it's like luggage, mortgage, sewage, not sewage. Sometimes there's a sewage pipe, sewage, 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 drainage, Ij. Instead of age, it should be ij. I say kuril a, no kuril age, e as an eli, that's the sound. Ij. Mileage, village, college, manage, wreckage, breakage. So that's the way we have to pronounce the endings. All the words ending with age or ege, we have to give the end like ij, not age. And then this is another common mispronunciation. Words ending with CIAL, sometimes we say financial, facial, commercial, official, like that. So the words ending with CIAL, the last part should be pronounced exactly the same way how we pronounce the word shall. SHALL, shall. So it should be financial, facial, racial, commercial. That's the way we have to pronounce it. So easily you can remember these endings. I will also push across this the PPT as well, so you can keep it for you to like remind it. The word MENT, a slight modification we have to do. We always say like meant, a as in Eli, that's what we say. It should be a as in amma, month, not meant. It should be a month, like this. Announcement, pronouncement, treatment. There are so many words ending with MENT. So instead of meant, it should be month. And some of the words like TAIN, but not many of us, rarely, some of the speakers, they say captain, Britain, mountain. If a word ends with the TAIN, the I is actually silent. So we have to go without the letter, the sound I. Captain, Britain, certain, not certain, certainly, no, certainly, certainly, or certain, 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 no, captain, no, mountain, no, mountain. That's the way we have to go. And this word ending TION. So right before this TION, we will definitely find the letter A. So we usually say like education. We say like A, long sound. Generation, communication, ventilation, like that. A, no A. It should be A. Like somebody will call A, Ingawapa. A, Gawara. I mean, like that. A. That's the way it should be. Like this. Communication, education, generation, ventilation, modulation, capitation. There are so many words. You may think about that as well. Just one slight modification. If we do that, we get the perfect pronunciation. So the words ending with ATIVE, we usually say with a long sound like ative, like cumulative, meditative, imitative, like that. It should be the short sound. Cumulative, not lative. Cumulative, meditative, imitative. Imitative, no. Imitative. Qualitative, quantitative, no. Qualitative, quantitative. Only the word ending ATIVE instead of the long sound, we have to give the short sound, like qualitative, quantitative, like that. And then some of the words ending with SION, what we give this yes sound, like fusion, delusion, version, or version, shun. That's the sound we give majority of us. Majority of this. Look at the word. Look at this word. I have never come across anybody pronouncing this word correctly. Let's see if there is anybody here. Anybody would like to pronounce this word? But definitely is not decision.
Decision.
Not exactly, ma'am. Not exactly. Anybody else would like to try?
Decision. Decision.
Decision.
No, I'm not getting exactly. We know that we have to give the differentiation between the yes and the z sound. Usually in the English language, if you find the yes in between the vowels,
Season. Decision.
not exactly, ma'am. It should be like this.
Decision.
B, C, Jan. The last part is what we're saying from or pronunciation.
This is
We say
Jan.
shun, we say shun, but it should be zhun, but it's not there in Tamil, that sound.
The.
For example, when we say
Shen.
the name Suresh, look at the mouth position, how it is. We say shh. From there, we have to start saying like zzz. Like when we say the shh, and if we keep the fingers in the Adam's apple, it would not vibrate. But we have to keep it, make it vibrated like this. Decision. Look at that. Decision. 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 So that ending is what we have to improvise. Jean, not shun. Jean. Decision. But sometimes some of us give decision. No, not like that. Decision. 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 That's how we have to pronounce. Similarly, fusion, delusion, not delusion. D-I. Just imagine that instead of E, it is I. Delusion. That's how we have to say. Fusion. Version. Not version. Version. The S-I-O-N. Any word ends with the S-I-O-N, we have to get the sound of J. J. That's the one we have to give. Similarly, words ending with S-U-A-L, we say usual, visual, casual. S-H-U, that's the sound we give. Shh, no, not that kind of sound. We have to give the J sound. J. Visual, casual, usual. And similarly, words ending with S-U-R-E. Look at the words. We say pressure, treasure, exposure. No. Any words ending with S-U-R-E, the last part should be Z, like this. Treasure, treasure, measure, exposure,
Measure.
leisure. Yes, measure. Look at that. Leisure. Sometimes we say leisure, we say. Sometimes we say leisure. Say it should be leisure. Leisure. The I is actually silent here. It should be le, as exactly we say, like le, not le, le. Sorry, E only. Le, je, je. We have to practice that one. Je, not sh. It should be je, leisure. And similarly, other words like genre, genre, genre. That's how we say it should be genre or genre. There are two ways to pronounce this word. You say Jean, not like the name John, not the J sound. It should be the Jean, Jean, Jean or genre. This one is, we say luxury. Sometimes we say luxury, luxury. No, lug, L-use like this. Luxury, not shari, jury. Luxury. The similar, the same. For everything, we have the same ending. Je. It is called the voiced sound, they would say. Yes is a voiceless sound. Z is a voiced sound. Or the sound that we give here is not the Z sound, but a different kind of a sound, like Z. Z. That's the sound. You may practice so you can get it. So that is it. But do I get any extra time? Because there are so many things to show. Ma'am?
So it's one. So you would like to have a question and answer session, sir, or like?
I would like to have another 5 minutes at least.
Oh, okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, great. So I got some words, some of the words which will help us to learn, like almost like 100 words. Let me just go quickly. How do we pronounce this word usually? Abacus? It is not abacus. It should be abacus. 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 The same way, both in British as well as the American English. We usually say this word as adjacent. Adjacent, meaning next to next. Pakatla, pakatla, that's the meaning. It should be adjacent. We say adjacent. It should be adjacent. That's the right way to pronounce this word. Adjacent. This word we talked about, Adobe, not Adobe. It should be Adobe, both in British as well as the American English. This is another word we say alternative. It should be alternative. Look at the difference. Alternative. We say alternative. English he would be scratching his head. He's always used to the pronunciation of alternative. Alter should be given more volume. We know that every word can be split into parts, bits and pieces. Those bits and pieces are called syllables. And not all the syllables are given equal volume. Only one syllable is given the highest volume. That particular syllable is called the stress part. So in that sense, it should be alternative, not alternative. We also saw that words ending with ATIVE is not A, it should be a. Alternative. Alternative. That's how we have to pronounce this word. And this word, we usually say Amazon. Amazon காடுகளிலிருந்து வரவழைக்கப்பட்ட அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. It should be Amazon. No, Amazon. 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 But the British will say Amazon, but the Americans will say Amazon. Little bit. Amazon. But the TV la nama solradhu Amazon illa Amazon. Amazon. That is how we have to pronounce this word. This is another word like appetite. We say appetite. No, appetite. Appy. Just a little bit of variation. We say instead of p, it should be p. Appetite. Appetite in both the pronunciation. We say athlete. Athlete. In both the English, it should be athlete. Long sound. Athlete. We have to pronounce the word as athlete, not athlete. We say analyze with the yes sound, but it should be the z sound. So any word ends with any word you find that a yes in between the vowels, the yes must be pronounced with a z sound. Analyze. We have to get the z sound. The yes is in between the vowels. The y is also a vowel here. Any word that begins with a y, it's a consonant, but if a word ends in the ending or probably in the middle, most of the time it will be a vowel. The y is called a semi-vowel, sometimes vowel, sometimes consonant. So it should be analyzed with the z sound at the end. Bargain, no, bargain, I silent. Bargain, the letter R is also silent. Bargain, that's how we have to pronounce this word. It's not binocular, it should be binocular. Binoculars, plural sonaka with the z sound at the end. Binoculars. Biscuit, because the U is silent, it should be biscuit. Biscuit. Market, market. Market, no, market. Chicken, chicken. Chicken. அப்படிதான் நம்ம அந்த வார்த்தையை உச்சரிக்கணும். Boutique இல்ல, it should be long sound. Boutique ரெண்டுமே வந்து long sound. Boutique, boutique அப்படிதான் உச்சரிக்கணும். நம்ம சொல்றோம் boutique, boutique அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம். It should be the long sound. Boutique. Broccoli அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லுவோம் இந்த vegetable. Vegetable இல்ல, vegetable. Vegetable. Like switchboard ன்னு சொல்றோம், like that. Vegetable. Vegetable. அப்படிதான் நம்ம அந்த வார்த்தையை உச்சரிக்கணும். This is broccoli. Broccoli, rather. Broccoli or broccoli. Not broccoli. 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 That's how we have to pronounce this word. Not cabbage. It should be cabbage. We saw that any word after the age, and day, it should be ij. So cabbage. Cabbage. So in the English language, if you find two consonant letters together, one of them will always be silent. So it should be cabbage, not cabbage. No, cabbage. One of the B's is silent. So cabbage. That's how we have to pronounce this word. Certain. We already saw that the R and the I are silent. Be certain. Certain. That's how we have to pronounce this word. Not certain. Certainly is wrong. Certain. Chicken. We saw that. Chicken illa chicken. Instead of E, put another I and pronounce it. Chicken. That's how we have to pronounce. Circuit illa circuit. The U is silent. Just like the word biscuit, it's also circuit. R and U are silent. So circuit. That's how we have to pronounce this word. And this is another word. Chaos. Sometimes some people will say it should be chaos. 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 That's how we have to pronounce. Not chaos. It should be chaos. And this word is cliche illa cliche. 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 அப்படிதான் நம்ம இந்த வார்த்தையை உச்சரிக்கணும். நம்ம சொல்றோம் colleague colleague அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம் ரெண்டுமே ஷார்ட் சவுண்ட்ல தான் சொல்றோம் co not co, it should be co, the long sound. Colleague, either you say colleague or colleague. If you go to UK, they would say colleague. If you go to US, they would say colleague. ரெண்டுமே long soundல சொல்லணும், but we always say colleague colleague அப்படி சொல்றோம். It should be colleague colleague. Any one of these you can pick it up. Competitor இல்ல competitor. Competitor. That's how we have to pronounce this word, competitor. This word we saw, content. So I'm skipping that. This one is a creech. நம்ம சொல்லுவோம் குழந்தைகள் விட்டுட்டு போவாங்கல வேலைக்கு போவாங்க ஒரு சிலர் நம்ம சொல்லுவோம் creechன்னு. It should be crush like crush it. Oh, just like this girl has a crush on the boy or the boy has a crush on the girl, like that. அந்த உச்சரிப்பு தான் இங்க சொல்லணும். Crush, not preach. Crush. This word cucumber illa, it should be cucumber. It's not cuisine, it should be sorry, cuisine. That is how we have to pronounce this word, cuisine. Cucumber, cuisine illa, cuisine illa, cuisine. Decisive illa, decisive. This word must be pronounced as decisive. So this is a phonetic alphabet actually. This is a formula you'll find in the dictionary right next to the word. That's the formula, not based on the spelling you have to pronounce the word. No, not that. This is the formula. In brackets, you will find all these symbols. This is called the phonetic alphabet or the transcription. That's every word has got a particular formula. This is how you have to pronounce it, not based on the spelling. So this is it. Defect. We talked about this word. Deluxe, we say it should be the short term. Deluxe kadiyadu. Deluxe. Demon illa, demon. The long sound, demon. This we saw democratic. Demonstrate, not demonstrate illa, demon. Mon நம்ம நெடில்ல சொல்றோம், it should be kuril. Demonstrate. That is how we have to pronounce this word. Develop, not develop. The first e தூக்கிட்டு ஒரு I போட்டா எப்படி இருக்கும்? Develop. நம்ம சொல்றோம் development, no, development, develop. That is how we have to pronounce this word. I'm quickly finishing it. Diabetes சொல்றோம், but it should be diabetes. அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம், குறியில சொல்றோம், it should be diabetes with a Z at the end, Z sound at the end. Diabetes. That's how the Americans would say. Elite is one of the words that recently we've picked up. Elite, no, elite, not elite. It should be E as an elite. That is how we have to pronounce this word. Entrepreneur, kadiyadu, entrepreneur. That's it. Quickly, I'm finishing it. One more minute. Entrepreneur kadiyadu, entrepreneur. Environment, no, environment. In is inside, அந்த மாதிரி. Environment. That is how we have to pronounce it. Equivalent, அப்படிதான் நம்ம சொல்றோம், it should be equivalent. Equivalent, not equivalent. Extravagant இல்ல, lavishா இருக்குது. Extravagant இல்ல, extravagant அப்படிதான் வச்சிருக்கணும். Executive இல்ல, executive. அப்படிதான் நம்ம இந்த வார்த்தையை வச்சிருக்கணும். Executive இல்ல. Facial, we've already seen that. Fasten இல்ல, fasten. Fatigue இல்ல, fatigue. Okay, பாதி கூட நம்ம முடிக்கல, நிறைய இருக்கு. There's so many I actually got. There are a couple of other files also I got, but probably we will see in some other time. But if you'll have a lot of questions. I would just would like to end it. The reason why we are doing this is because to make it perfection, in order to make it professional, we have to do this renovation. Just not a very tough ones, just a little bit of adjustment we have to make with the pronunciation endings, the stress patterns, and this long sound and the short sound, the short sound to long sound. If we do this, not a very complicated one, easy one, anybody can get that. Just a couple of times you practice, you'll get that very easily. If you practice that a couple of times and then you can put it into usage, that's it, you will get that. When you do that, you'll get the perfection. Otherwise, like only then we have to respect all these nuances. Only then we can use the term I speak professional English. We know that. I always tell this sentence in my classes. If you speak professional English, you will get a professional job in a professional company with a professional salary. You will live your life professionally. You will end up living a professional life. But if you speak average English, you will only get average job in an average company with an average salary. Your life will be average. You will end up living an average life. That's I always say. It may be like some of you may disagree, but I believe in this. If you speak excellent English, you will always get more opportunities. Even if you're a genius, just imagine that you're a genius. You know anything about anything, everything about everything. You go attend an interview, but your English is just average. He asks you a question, first question, tell about yourself. You say, tell about yourself. You start talking about it, average English, probably you would say, all right, thank you, we'll call you. Then if you're very persistent about knowing the results, he would say, Ilapa, we have not taken you, we have rejected you. You cannot just say, sir, I'm a genius, I know anything about anything, everything about everything. You ask me anything, I'll give you the best answer, best solution, best idea. தம்பி அதெல்லாம் தம்பி ஆனா உனக்கு பேசவே தெரியலையே. Probably you would say like that. So நீங்க ஜீனியஸா இருந்தாலும் that you have to expose it to somebody else, right? So you have to communicate that genius qualities, or you have to exercise that genius quality, and then you have to explain that to somebody. The other person must understand that. If he doesn't understand, how do you think he will accept that you're a genius? தம்பி பேசவே தெரியல உனக்கு, நீ ஜீனியஸா இருந்தேன்னா பிரயோஜனம். ஏன்னா எல்லாமே communication. We're not just simply going to go sit and start some work and come home. Go sit, work, and come home. No, every job involves communication. You have to explain. You have to explain what you do. You have to explain your ideas. You have to explain your methodologies. You have to explain the project work, how you did it, how you're going to do it. Everything you have to explain. There is a language that is called English. And if that is effective, and your explanation would be effective. So I would always say that if you're a genius, that's a nice thing, but that's only secondary. But how good your English is, that is most important. So you have to decide whether you would like to speak average English or professional English. But if you would like to speak professional English, and I'm sure that you have to respect the pronunciations, because not all of them, I'm not asking you to speak like American or the British, just the words. If you try to pronounce the words professionally, that's more than enough. Not all the words in the English language. If you talk about dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, they're like 1,75,000 words. Not all the words, only the words that we use in a regular conversation. Only those words, if you try to adjust, try to speak, pronounce them correctly, that's more than enough. You can still say you speak professional English. I have taken extra time. Kindly excuse me on that. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Thank you.
Participants, if you have any questions.
Yes, somebody's saying, sir. Yes, you may even type it in the chat box.
Mridul C, yes, I think you raised your hand. You have any question?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. That was a wonderful session.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you very much. So my question is regarding the varieties of English in the post-colonial context. We have a lot of, non-native communities like speaking English as the second language. We have Nigerian English, Indian English, Malaysian English, etc. So if you take Indian English, there is nothing known as an Indian English. Especially we Indians speak different languages. If a Tamilian speaks English, it would be with Tamil accent. If a Hindi native language speaker, he will be speaking English with a Hindi accent. Okay. So it's an observation, sir. I would like to know whether you agree with it or not.
Yes, definitely. If you see, more than the Americans, the number of speakers are Indians. We are the most number of speakers. We would rather say that English is ours because we have the most number of speakers here. But whatever you're saying, I agree with that point. Just imagine that you run a company that is worldwide. You have branches all over. Okay, what kind of candidates would you select? You can even imagine that you have a company. This is another perspective. You have a company in Tamil Nadu. You would like to get people, the employees only from Tamil Nadu, but you have customers all over. What kind of people would you select? Somebody who speaks Tamil accent, somebody who speaks English with correct pronunciation, with a stylish way, not like the British, not like the Americans. At least they pronounce English words perfectly. Professional English, I would like to use the term professional English. Average English, professional English. The job would be like mostly you have involved with customers. You should be speaking with customers most of the time. You have to speak with the people from other branches, from other country. But in a scenario like this, who would you give preference to? Both are exactly the same. The only area where they differ is the way how they speak English. One speaks average English, the other one speaks professional English. Who would you select? It's just a matter of opportunity, sir. I'm not saying that we have to get rid of Indian accent or whatever. I'm not about that. What I'm saying is that if you speak professional English, the opportunities are more. That's what I'm advocating about. So that you tell me, so who would you select? Average English speaker or professional speaker for your company? You run a company.
I would rather prefer professional speaker, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It is only for that reason, not any other reason. I'm not discouraging anybody, or I'm not saying anything else about any other accent. Not about Indian style or whatever. If you can speak professional English, your opportunities are more. You can go up on the ladder faster, better. You can get jobs in better company. Just imagine you would like to work in a company like Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever it is. Who do you think they would select? Somebody who speaks average English or professional English? I'm sure that everybody would agree with me that professional English. But every candidate or every graduate, whoever is going to get out of the college, everybody will always be dreaming about working in those kind of companies. So that means they should also develop their English as well in order to at least get a small opportunity in those kind of companies. So that's what I'm talking about, professional English. It's up to you. It's up to anybody, whoever is here. It's up to you whether you would like to go with average English or professional English. It's all your perspective. I'm not here. I'm just telling you the avenue, how it is, and how to go by it. It's not about you have to go this way, that way. I'm not saying that. I hope you understood, sir. Anybody else? Is there anybody with any other question? Yeah, I know that I went pretty faster. I usually take one whole day to go with this. That will give them ample ideas. But least time, this is what I could do, but I rushed up. Thank you. Somebody's asked a question. Would you please tell me how long it will take to get such a good professional English, sir? Yes, that is a hypothetical question. Because it depends on, you know that as a teacher, if you're a teacher, you know that nobody can give the time frame. You can teach and train a person on English language within this period of time. No, it is completely dependent upon the learner and the teacher as well. Dedication. How much dedication he's got. How much time he's going to dedicate towards learning this language. How much he's going to practice. Like, What is the priority? And similarly, the teacher, it is all completely dependent. Well, a teacher should be completely 100% dedicated towards teaching, and the learner should be 100% dedicated towards learning. Learning is the highest priority. After that, you eat and drink. Even if it is that case, it will at least take 3 months. It will at least take 3 months. If you like to go like professional way, that would at least say you have to practice for 6 months, I would believe. 6 months you have to practice approximately if you would like to speak a professional English. 6 months. Somebody said, please share the PPT. Yes, I will definitely share with the coordinators, and they will put that across in the WhatsApp group. You will get that. Any other question?
Participants, any other questions?
Yes, sir. I would like to.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. That was a wonderful session, and we've learned a lot. But my stand as an English language teacher, motivating a group of students who won't even open their mouth in English class. So it was only today that I shared them. English is a language, just a language, not a measure of intelligence. Just to motivate them, because I have come across this quote on internet. I don't know whose quote is this. So I just wanted to motivate them. I used this quote that English is just a language, not a measure of intelligence. So based on this quote, what would be your stance, sir, so that I could spread the same to my students?
Okay, it's just a language, not of the intelligence. It doesn't measure your intelligence. That's fine, but what I would like to say is that intelligence. But the intelligence, most of the time, we use communication to expose the intelligence, right? So that's what I was even giving an example, like genius. It's not about what you have. It's about how you put that across. That matters a lot. I hope you would agree with me. It is not about what we have in our mind. It is about how we put it across. How we put that thing, what we have in our mind across, matters a lot. So that means the put it across thing, the putting it across, the how needs a language, a tool. So that is, we always use the language, communication skills. So I always go with how, then what. What is only secondary. So probably you can say that. I hope you got that, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Participants?
So I have a question to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Long back, I attended a refresher course in Madras University. One of the resource person was telling us that the basic purpose of language is communication. And if the pronunciation is not up to the mark, we need not mind about that. The purpose of any language is communication. What is your observation, sir?
So I absolutely agree with whatever you say. But here, the communication we're talking about is for bread and butter, to get a job. Just imagine, we go to a teaching job. You just average communication, okay? And speak professional English. Who would you select? If you run a college or school, who would you select? Somebody who speaks average English or professional English for a teaching position? Of course, I understand that. I completely agree with that point. Maybe that is just for surviving with society, not for professional environment, not for a job, not for employment, I would say. But you tell me, sir, who would you select for a teaching position?
Of course, one with a professional skill I would select.
Yeah, the very objective, sir, the very objective. Whatever you say, that I agree, but the very objective of me talking about this professional English only towards getting a job, working in a better company. It is only towards that. And if you speak professional English, you get more opportunities. That's the point there. You expand your avenues, and you get highlighted very easily. Very easily.
Sure.
That is what I'm talking about. If you have it, you got plenty. If you don't have it, very little for you opportunity. And if you say that, oh, how can we get it? Is it possible? Would you imagine that? Now, I studied in Tamil medium till +2. I did my schooling in my village, a small village called Malayarasan Guppam in Senji Taluka, Viluppuram district. There are almost 300 and odd villages are there in Senji Taluka. I studied there till +2 Tamil medium. Even my teacher, English teacher, was speaking in Tamil. Everything was taken in Tamil. English subject was taught in Tamil. I came to Chennai. I studied in Government Arts College, Nandanam, my BA English Literature. I did my PG in Pachepas College. I did my MPhil in Annamalai University. How do you think I got this kind of English?
Really great, sir. Great to hear.
What I'm trying to get, the reason why I'm saying this is it is gettable. நம்ம தூரமா நின்னு பாத்துற ஐயோ இது கஷ்டம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம ஓடி போயிடும். எல்லாருமே there is a part in BA English Literature பார்த்தனா ஒரு 20 மார்க்ஸ்க்கு வந்து phonetics இருக்கும். அது வந்தாவே எல்லாரும் பயந்து போய் ஓடி போயிடும் நம்ம. That's where I actually started. That is where I started. அங்கதான் like I always followed the lines. நம்ம Robert Frost did a line. That the path that is less traveled by. I chose that. I chose the path that is less traveled by. That made all the difference. Road marking. Yes, that made the difference. That lines actually made a difference in my life. That's where I wanted to differ. That's where I began. Basically, communication skills I developed in second year of BA English Literature. Vaishnav Arts College. Second year, second half length start பண்ணனே. ஒரே ஒரு ரீசன் தான் இங்கிலீஷ் எப்படி கத்துக்க முடியும் அப்படின்னாக்கா நீங்க 1000 ரீசன் சொல்லலாம். ஒரே ஒரு ரீசன் நான் சொல்ல விரும்புறேன். இது ஒண்ணு இருந்ததுன்னு வச்சுக்கேன் கண்டிப்பா வந்துடும். பயம். Fear of responsibility. Fear of responsibility. அது இருந்ததுன்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா that will take you wherever you want. அந்த பயம் இருக்கும். I had that fear because my family was that kind of a situation. I had 3 sisters, farmer family தான். ஸோ எல்லாரையும் கரை சேர்க்கணும் அப்படின்னு சின்ன வயசுல இருந்தே அம்மா சொல்லிக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. ரொம்ப சாப்பாடுக்கே கஷ்டப்பட்டோம். அப்ப சொல்லி வளர்த்தாங்க அந்த பயம். படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. படிக்க விட மாட்டேன்ட்டாங்க எங்க அம்மா. வேண்டாம்பா 12ஆவதோட போதும், வேலை பார்க்க ஆரம்பி, சம்பாதிச்சு அக்கா எல்லாம் கரை சேர்க்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. அம்மா என்ன ஒரு 3 வருஷம் படிக்க விடு, நீ எவ்வளவு கடன் வேணாலும் வாங்கி வை, நான் 3 வருஷம் படிச்சு வந்துட்டு வேலைக்கு போயிடுவேன், நிறைய சம்பாதிப்பேன், கடன்லாம் அடிச்சிடலாம், அக்கா தங்கச்சி எல்லாம் கல்யாணம் பண்ணி கொடுத்துடலாம் அப்படி சொன்னேன். பட் வந்த உடனே I thought that BA English Literature they will teach us how to speak English. When I went there, they were talking about prose, poetry, novels, short stories. யாருக்கு அதெல்லாம் வேணும்? I was only interested in learning the English language. It wasn't. அப்ப அந்த பயம் வந்துச்சு. 1 வருஷம் ஆச்சு, அரியர் வந்துச்சு. 1.5 வருஷம் ஆச்சு, மறுபடியும் அரியர். அப்ப பயம் வந்துச்சு. The word that I gave to my mother, Amma, I'll take care of everything. You borrow whatever money you want. That fear, that pushed me. That fear pushed me. அப்ப பயம் இருந்தா கண்டிப்பா வந்துடும். பயம் தான் எனக்கு இந்த அளவுக்கு கொண்டு வந்துட்டு இருக்குன்னு நான் சொல்றேன். That fear of responsibility that will take anybody to anywhere. இந்த பயத்தை உணர்ந்தாங்கனாவே போதும், யாரா இருந்தாலும் கண்டிப்பா they can do anything.
Thanks a lot, sir, for sharing your experience. Thank you.
Can I also ask a question?
Yes, please.
This is Aishwarya and I'm studying 8th standard. And may I please know who inspired you to be like this? Because it was my parents. Were my parents who inspired me. So who inspired you?
I would say that nobody inspired me when I was in my doing my college education. When I was doing my second year, I went to a relative's house. So they had TV. In the TV, there was a channel called Star Movies. It was going on. I never got exposed to English movies at all. Village la TV கிடையாது. So when I went there, ஒரு நாள் சும்மா சொந்தக்கார வீட்டுக்கு போனாங்கன்னா அப்ப டிவி ஓடிட்டு இருந்தா அவங்க பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருந்தாங்க ஸ்டார் மூவிஸ். அப்பதான் நான் கேள்வியே படுறேன். நான் செகண்ட் இயர் படிக்கும் போது I did not know anything about English language. Only thank you, come, go, sorry, அவ்வளவுதான், அதுக்கு மேல எதுவுமே தெரியாது. So when I saw that movie, in Star movies, I got like unimaginable inspiration from that. This is more English. So that's the beginning. The movies. I got it from movies. Yes.
Yeah.
Movies are inspiration.
Yeah, it really is an inspiration for me. It was my parents, and then movies, just like you, sir.
Then you're a blessed one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
You're
very
blessed
much.
to have such wonderful parents.
Uh,
Yes. I'm sure that my kids would speak much better than me.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was really inspiring. And I think your session was really very, very informative. We got to really know about the pronunciations of how we have to take it up for our daily words and all. Thank you, sir. And though I don't think so, we actually knew about another half an hour time, which has gone by even. It was really very interesting. And I think participants really loved it. Thank you so much, sir. We are waiting to hear from you soon. Maybe another session too.
Anytime, and probably you can arrange one in your campus.
Sure, sir.
I'll be there. Even the whole day you can give it to me.
Sure, sir. Definitely, sir.
You will
Definitely.
just not even know that time is actually something like that. No, it'll just go
Sure,
like
sir.
that.
Sure, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Participants. You've been a wonderful participant and really thank you for this. Please do come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the session by Dr. Saravanan, who's going to give it on research, publish and prosper. So people who are still looking out for publications and who are looking out at research prospects, please do stay and come back at tomorrow 6:30. The session starts at. Thank you so much and have a great evening. Good night.
One
Yes.
small request, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we just have sir's number or email, ma'am, so that any question?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put sir. Sir, if it's okay, can I share the email ID, sir?
Yes, ma'am. You can try. Also, just type my number there.
Okay.
Chat.
Yes, the sir has posted sir's number.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the request being given.
Ma'am, I want to ask question to sir. Shall I ask? Sir, how you start to speaking English, sir? And then
I think it is a story. Probably you can call me. I've sent you my number because there are other people. They just want to go. I think we are eating their time because I've taken too
okay,
much.
sir. Okay, no. Okay.
Probably you can just either call me or you can chat me. I will tell that. I'll be happy to say that. Thank you. I'm sorry
Okay,
to
sir. Thank you. No, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.